Hi everyone, my name is Kassandra Prus and I'm a therapeutic yoga and exercise teacher. I work a lot with seniors and folks with mobility issues for a variety of reasons. And so what follows is a sequence of shoulder and neck stretches and strengtheners. So hopefully some of these things can help you out. Again, anytime we're doing any of these things, particularly if you've got any replacements or tears or major issues in the shoulders, you just want to work within the range of motion that makes sense for you. So if you're noticing your breath is shortening up, that's going to be a cue to you that it's too much. And so we want to find movement. So whether it's just small, gentle movement or something larger over time, that's something that we can build. So we don't want to push, we don't want to force. When we're forcing those things, might have the opposite effect of what we're looking for. So we're going to start with some just really gentle kind of warm-ups for the arms and shoulders. And so you're going to let the arms hang down by your sides, almost feeling like they're just hanging down out of your shoulder. And we're going to do a simple rotation. I'll actually face straight towards you. And we're going to rotate out, out, out like a barber pole, so right from the shoulder socket. And then you're going to rotate in, in, in. And you're going to do that a couple times. So just starting to warm up the shoulder joint. And you can think about as you rotate, it starts in the shoulder, but it's going to travel right down to your fingers and your thumbs. And back and forth a couple times. And so even if you're not working with any major injuries, if you do lots of typing or sitting or driving, still nice stuff to do. Good. All right, so gone in and out a couple times. We're gonna finish on out. Good. And then we're gonna think about now our shoulder blades. So we got that little bit warmed up. You're gonna think about the shoulder blades almost like a plate on your shoulder, on your ribs, that sits on your ribs. And we're gonna see if we can slide those plates around a little bit. So I'm gonna try and slide this back a little bit so you see a bit of that shoulder blade. And we're gonna squeeze the shoulder blades together like you're trying to squish a pencil between them. And then you're gonna widen your shoulders like you want to make lots of space between the shoulder blades in the spine. You're gonna go back and forth. You're gonna squeeze, and then you're gonna widen. Now I'll spin back around. We're gonna do that a couple times. So wherever your arms go is fine. And we're just trying to find some movement back there. So I'm not too concerned about sort of specifics right now. We're just imagining those plates coming away from the spine and then coming towards the spine. Good, let's do that one more time. Good. Okay, now if that's feeling all right, you can keep doing that. Or if you feel like you want to extend it a little bit, next time you squeeze the shoulders back, you're going to try and press them down away from your ears, but they're going to keep squeezing. And then they're going to come wide and stay far away from the ears. And then they're staying wide and they're going to squish up to your ears. Like we're drawing a square. So keep them up by your ears and squish together. Squish, squish, squish. Keep them squished. Press them down. Keep them squished. You're going to widen them. Now they're staying down. Wide, wide, wide. Then they're wide and they're lifting. You're going to do that one more time. You're going to keep them up and squish them. That's usually the kind of sticky bit. And then they're squished and you're pressing down. And then they're down and they're coming wide. Then we're going to go the other way. So they're down and they're going to squish back together. And they're squished and they're going to press up towards your ears. That's also the sticky bit. And they're up by your ears and they're coming wide. And then they're wide and they're coming down. And do that two more times. So they're down and they're going to squish together. And they're squished and they're lifting. They're lifting and they're wide. And they're wide and they're down. Last time through. They're down and they're squished. And they're squished and they're up. And they're up and they're wide. They're wide and they're down. And let's finish with a down and a squish. Good. And then we can let that relax. So often those shoulder blades just kind of get stuck in one place. So thinking about moving them around over top of the ribs is just a nice way to find a little bit of movement and just wake up kind of the brain to that area. All right, so from here, we're gonna come through a little bit of circling through the whole arm. So it's gonna involve kind of the whole shoulder joint and all the ranges of motion you might move through. And again, this is going to be as large or as small as you need it to be. So it might be very close to the floor. It might come up towards shoulder height. You're going to find out in a moment. So we're going to start with, let's do the right arm first. And the left hand might come to rest on your shoulder as a bit of a reference. You also might do this looking in a mirror once you have a sense of the exercise. So you're gonna imagine like you're lifting a heavy plate or platter, and you're only gonna lift so far that that shoulder doesn't come with you. So you're lifting the platter as high as it'll go, and then you're gonna come out to this side. So you're offering, say, the platter to a neighbor that might be nearby, and then they decide they don't want it. You're gonna drop the plate on the floor. You're gonna keep dropping in, and you're gonna see how far back that arm can go. So this is the tricky moment. I'm gonna show you sideways. So as we come down and in, it's gonna wanna go back, but this is where the shoulder's gonna wanna lift up to your ear. So you're gonna try and keep it dropped, in and back, in and back, in and back. Keep going in as much as you can, and then we'll come back towards the side. And then right away, gonna flip the hand the other way, lift the heavy tray, out towards the side, just as far as it goes. So you're gonna see, I'm not going straight to the side. My arm won't go there. Then I'm gonna go in and down and in and down and in and down and back, and then bring the arm all the way. Let's do that one more time. I'll face forward. So again, my shoulder's not creeping up. I spin the palm forward, I lift up, I come out to the side. I'm offering the plate to my neighbor, and then I drop the plate on the floor and go in and back and in and back and in and back, and then slowly down by the side. And you can let that go. So over time, that circle might get a little larger, but for now, it can be very close to the floor or, up towards shoulder height. So let's try the other side. Again, that other hand can be a reference point for the shoulder. Palm is facing forward. You're lifting a heavy tray to start, just as high as it'll go, coming out towards the side as far as it'll go. And then we're gonna inwardly rotate in and back and in and back. Here's where my shoulder wants to creep up. I'm gonna resist that, in and back and in and back. Keep going in and in and in, and then all the way down. I'm gonna turn my palm forward. Again, lifting up, coming out to the side. Offer the plate to your neighbor. You're gonna go in and back and in and back and in and back and in and back, and then all the way down. I'm gonna do that one more time. Palm forward, lift the platter, out to the side, just as far as it'll go. So we're not bringing the whole spine to twist, just the arms moving in the shoulder socket, and in and back and in and back and in and back, in and back, and all the way down. Beautiful. Phew. Okay. You want a little shake out. Nice. So two things I forgot to mention at the beginning. So if you don't have some supplies with you here, this might be a moment to pause and go grab them. You want some sort of block, or if you've got a yoga block or maybe a large book that is fairly firm, not like a hardcover book, not a soft cover that you could squish with your hands. The other thing you're looking for is some sort of strap or belt, or like I just have a everyday belt. If you've got a yoga strap, you can use that, but just something kind of long and narrow-ish. You can also use a towel for that, actually, if you've got something you could roll up a little bit. We won't use that just yet, but very soon. So our next place, we're going to come into a more yoga-y shape. And what we're going to start with, if you'd like, you can add your legs here. You don't have to. But if you'd like to cross your ankles, you can, or you can cross your legs if the legs will allow. If you're crossing your legs, you're going to press the foot towards the shin. If you're crossing your ankles, you're going to hug the legs together, the knees together. But again, you don't have to use the legs, only if you want to. We're going to reach both arms here forward, and you're going to try and cross your whole right arm over your whole left arm. So what we're not looking for is for both hands to be on top. One arm is completely on top, one arm is completely underneath, and you're going to creep your fingers back as far towards the shoulders as your arms will let you. Okay, then from here, we're going to do a very small movement. So similar to what we were just doing, the arm bone moving in the shoulder socket, we're going to try and just lift the elbows as much as we can without the whole arm coming with us. So just lifting the elbow, tiny bit, and exhaling down. I'm going to do that 2 more times. Again, it just might be a micromillimeter, might be a whole inch. It's not going to be big. Slowly, elbows come down. You can do that 1 more time. You're going to reach and lift a little bit. And then let's let the chest cave in a little bit here. So your face can soften. Chest can cave in. We're looking for a stretch here between your shoulders. And what we're going to do is I'm going to breathe into that area for 3 breaths. So as you inhale, try and send your breath back between the shoulders. And as you exhale, you're softening. And 2 more breaths there, breathing into the stretch and relaxing that area that's feeling the stretch. One more breath. Good, and we're gonna slowly make our way up. You can release your arms, you're gonna release the legs if they are crossed. Give it a little shake out if you need. And then we're gonna switch feet. Apologize for any wind sounds if you can hear them. It's a very windy day. So we're gonna cross the other ankle on top. And if the ankles are crossed, you're hugging. If you're crossing the knees, again, the foot is trying to reach towards the shin. But here, this time, as we reach our arms forward, this time the left arm will completely come over top. So again, not the palms both on top. One is completely on top, one is completely underneath. And creep those fingers as close to the shoulders as you can. Now this time, instead of lifting the elbows as we were doing a moment ago, we're gonna try and reach the elbows forward like we wanna press a button with them. So we're gonna reach the elbows forward in front of us a little bit. You're gonna notice your shoulder blades widen a bit. And then you're gonna slowly come back. 2 more breaths like that. Reach the elbows a little bit forward. And softening back. 1 more breath like that. Reach your elbows. Good, and then we're gonna soften again forward. So hopefully we're feeling that stretch there between the shoulders. 2 more breaths. Full breath in. And soft breath out. 1 more breath. Good. And then we can slowly come up, release our arms. If the legs are crossed, you can uncross them. Okay, so from here, this is where we're going to use some of those props. So you can take hold of the belt or the yoga strap or the towel. And we're going to take it in both hands here. So we're going to do a little bit of strengthening through the shoulders. So you're going to take the strap in either hand, or the belt or whatever it is you're using. You're going to try and rip it apart. So you're going to hold on nice and tight with the hands. Try and pull, 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 pull. Okay. And so doing that, we're going to start to move the arms over towards one side. Now again, it's just the arms moving in the shoulder socket. We're not taking the whole body over with us. Just the arms are moving over. Keep ripping it apart. And then coming back towards the center. And same thing on the other side. Keep ripping or feeling like you're going to rip that strap apart. Back to the center. Good. Now these arms don't have to be very high. If you're lifting too high, the shoulders are going to come up. So I want you to lower those arms down as much as you need so the shoulders aren't by the ears. Now we're going to start to make it a little different. So we're pulling the arms to one side. Now you're going to imagine you're stirring the biggest pot of soup. You're going to bend both elbows. Keep trying to rip the strap apart. Pull the arms towards the other side. Keep trying to rip the strap apart. And then out in front of you. Phew, you're going to go real warm, real fast. And we're going to go one more time. Stir the big pot of soup. Bend the elbows. Over to the other side. Keep ripping apart and then over forward. All right, we're going to go the other way. Keep trying to rip the strap apart. Arms go the other way. Bend towards you. Big pot of soup we're stirring. Over towards the other side. And then coming forward. Again, we're trying to resist this feeling that might start to happen. Elbows are heavy. Sorry, those aren't elbows, those are shoulders. One more stir. Good. And all the way forward. Phew, okay, I can let that go. You can shake them out. And so if that's feeling manageable, you might even do that 3 times, but that's going to warm you up really quickly. It's going to strengthen all those shoulders and the whole shoulder area. And we'll do one more strengthener. So if you're not into it, you just watch this next one. If you'd like to do one more, you can take hold of that block or that book, whatever it is you're using, and you're going to try not to hold on with your fingers really tight. You're going to try and have the fingers soft, and you're pressing the block. The leg's a little tricky in here. All right, so we're pressing the block together with our hands, and you're going to try and bring the arms as straight as possible. So before we were trying to pull apart, and now we're trying to squeeze in. So as you're pressing into the block, you're going to, again, try and lift those arms up overhead, arms as straight as you can make them, and then you're going to slowly come down. I'm going to do that a couple times. So you're squishing that block, reaching forwards enough. You won't get right up overhead. I can't even get up there. You're going to squish, squish, squish. And you're going to slowly come back. Now you might notice as you're squishing that the block does a little shimmy. That just means that your hands aren't quite right across from each other, and that's totally fine. Whew, okay. Well, let's do this 2 more times. Now as you're lifting, 2 things I want you to keep an eye out for, so just keep going. Notice if your whole back wants to come with you. we're going to try and keep the spine nice and long. So it's, again, it's the arm bones moving in your shoulder sockets. So that's one thing we're looking out for, is the back doing the work. And the other thing we're looking out for is the shoulders lifting, doing the work. So I'm going to try and keep the shoulders heavy. Arm bones rotating in the shoulder socket. And keep squishing, and then arms come down. Okay. If you'd like to do one or two more, feel free. And then when you're done, you can throw the block. All right. I'm a professional. So we're going to come back. We can just have that strap handy on your lap here. We're going to do one thing, sort of 3 steps to our next shape. So we're going to start to bring the right hand now onto your shoulder. And the left hand is going to hold underneath. So the right arm, this top arm, is going to be completely relaxed. The bottom arm is doing the work. Top arm is relaxed. So we're going to start to press that elbow up just as high as it'll go without the shoulder coming with you. So again, we're isolating the arm movement in the shoulder. And you're just pressing up as high as makes sense. Now you might invite your eyes to close if that's comfortable. We'll take a couple breaths here. So each breath in, you're staying in stillness. Each breath out, you can do a gentle press up. So maybe 0.5 millimeter or 1 millimeter lift. Inhale again in stillness. As you exhale, gentle press up. I'm going to do a couple breaths like that. Maybe deepening a tiny bit each exhale. And we can gently let the arm come down. Open the eyes if there's closed. And give it a little shake out if you need. And we're going to take the left arm now on top of the shoulder. So again, it's the left arm that's going to be heavy. The right arm is doing the lifting. You're going to press up just as far as you need without the shoulder coming with you. So shoulder's nice and heavy. You're lifting just as far as makes sense. Again, you might close your eyes and we're taking a couple breaths. Each inhale in stillness. Each exhale, a little gentle press. Good, and then we're going to gently, again, bring that arm down. All right. And we're going to use that strap again, but we're going to come up just for a moment to standing. It is possibly possible in a chair if you don't have arms. I'm going to show it standing. You can always try and make the space behind you if you are in a chair. So we're going to take that strap again, and we're going to hold it behind our back. So it's going to be a little bit wider than your bum. Yeah, so a little wider than our bum. And we're going to try and reach it back behind our body. So we're not touching our bum with our hands. You're reaching a little back. And then once we've done that, I have no head. Once we've done that, we're going to keep the arms as straight as we can and try and pull them over to one side. And you can try and pull them over to the other side. So if we keep those arms straight, again, we're not going to bend the elbows. Keeping the arms as straight as possible, hopefully you start to feel a stretch in the side of your arm. And you should do that back and forth a couple times. You're pulling one way, you're pulling the other. The arms are nice and long, and again, we're trying not to touch our bum. We're not giving our bum a little rub. We're trying to keep away. Might not be able to, but that's what we're aiming for. And then when we're done with that, we can give ourselves a little necklace for a moment. We're going to come into one more movement with our arms. So like we were doing a moment ago, this one again, you could probably do in a chair. But you're going to turn your palms to face back. So the palms are pointing back to the wall behind you. And then you're going to start to bend one elbow, again, trying not to touch your bum. So the elbow is bending, and you're sliding it up as high up your back as you can. And then you're going to slowly reach the arm back around. We do that back and forth. So again, things to avoid is this whole shoulder and body coming that way to make room for the arm. Lots of work in the upper arm to inwardly rotate and help you bend. And so as we do this back and forth, if the hand won't go past your bum, that's okay. You're going to bend the elbow, think about inwardly rotating, and you're going to visualize in your mind the hand coming up your back as though you wanted to scratch your back. And over time, so we're priming those neural pathways if the body isn't able to do it just yet. And if you are able to go there with your body, you bend just as high up as you can and then slowly come back. All right, we're going to shake that out and come back to a seat. I'm going to put all those shapes together. All right, so we can take the right hand to hold on to whatever we're working with, and you're going to bring it over your shoulder like you were on a runway. And then first part, the elbow's going to lift up. Then the other arm's going to do the second part. So you turn the palm to face back, and you bend your elbow until you can hold on to the strap. You're going to inch your fingers together as close as they'll go. So we kind of have this shape going on with our arms. Now again, if the elbow won't reach that high, it's going to stay heavy. If the hand can't come behind your back, it can come by your side. But again, your fingers are going just as close together as they can. Now wherever you are, we're going to think a little bit about reaching our elbows away from each other. And each exhale, we relax that. And doing that a couple times. Each inhale, reach the elbows, try and make your arms longer. And each exhale, you soften. Let's do 2 more breaths, your own breath. Maybe you close your eyes. One more breath. And if those eyes are closed, you can gently open them. Let the arms come down. And then we're going to try the other side. So again, you start with now with the left hand holding onto the strap, on the belt. You give it a swing over your shoulder. That elbow's going to reach up as high as it can, like the first stretch. The other arm, palm faces back. And you bend your elbow until you can hold on to the strap. I got caught behind the chair. And you're inching your fingers as close as you can get on this side. So again, the back looks like this. Or something like that. And then same thing, we're going to think on each inhale, like we're trying to make our arms longer. Reach the elbows. Each exhale, you relax the shoulders, relax your jaw. Another couple breaths here. Each inhale, a little reach. And each exhale, a softening. And then if the eyes are closed, you can gently open them. We let the arms go. We'll set that strap down. And we'll do one more stretch now for the front of the chest. And so you can do this one standing at a wall, or potentially if you don't want to, or you don't have the ability to get up off of your chair, if your chair is fairly close to the wall, we can also do this one seated with the hand at the wall. And so what we're going to do is I'm just going to use this desk as a pretend wall so you can see where I'm going. You're going to start to face the wall with both hands. I'm going to get on the floor. So pretending I'm standing. Both hands are at the wall like that. You're just going to hold on with your right hand now, like you're saying stop. And you can start to turn your body here until you feel a stretch in that right chest. So what might start to happen is this. And we're going to try and keep that shoulder dropped down. The elbow can stay a little bent. And again, rotate yourself as far as you can go until you feel the stretch in your chest. Once you find that spot, you're going to turn your face to look away from the hand. Each inhale, we get taller out the top of our head. Each exhale, we turn the face a little more away from the hand. Couple breaths there. Each exhale, trying to turn again, the face a little further over your shoulder. And when you're done with that side, you can gently rotate yourself around. And now the left hand will come to the wall, my pretend wall. And again, I'm turning my body until I feel the stretch in my left chest. And as I go, I'm going to turn my face away from my hand. I'm going to do this for a couple breaths. Again, each inhale, I'm tall. And each exhale, my face might turn a tiny bit more. And I'm resisting the urge for this shoulder to lift. It's nice and heavy, and my face is looking over. 2 more breaths. And then we'll again carefully untwist. And you can move away from your wall, whichever wall it is. We'll come back for one nice collection of neck stretches before we finish. So I'm going to start here by letting your right ear get really heavy to your shoulder. And as you find a comfortable seat, this might be exactly where you stay. Or you might like to extend the stretch a little bit down through the arm by taking your opposite hand, so your left hand down to hold on to the chair seat. You might even lean a little bit away from that hand. What that's going to do, it might extend the stretch down into the upper arm and more into the shoulder. If that's too much, you don't need to hold on. Let's take one more breath with the ear heavy. Now we're going to start to turn the nose. So you're still looking in that direction, but the nose is like you're looking on the outside of your right leg or down towards your armpit. And we're going to take same thing, 3 breaths here, simple in and out. And the arm can just hang, or the left hand can keep holding onto the chair. A little bit of traction for that left shoulder, neck and arm. Now we're going to carefully let go of the chair. You're going to start to lift your face and look over like you're saying no, over the right shoulder. You can let go of the chair if you're holding on. We're going to turn the face the other way. So slow motion, no. And again, first side, slowly. Using the muscles of your neck to turn, and one more time. Muscles of your neck help you turn. And then we're going to bring the face back to the center. You can take a moment to notice those differences. Spend a bit of time on the one side. Maybe there's no change. Maybe there's no difference between sides. Now we're going to let the right ear get heavy. Nope, we did that the first time. We're going to let the left ear get heavy. And as that ear gets heavy, again, you decide maybe weight is fine. Just the weight of the head. Maybe you want to hold on with the right hand to the chair seat. You might even want to lean a little bit away from that arm. You decide the amount of stretch that feels appropriate. 3 or 4 breaths here. Two more rounds of breath of where you're breathing in and of where you're breathing out. And then you might keep holding onto the chair. If you are, you might let go. The nose starts to turn down towards the floor, towards your armpit. You get a little more into the back of the neck. 2, 3 breaths. And from here, again, if you're holding onto the chair, you're going to carefully let go. You're going to bring your head up to look over the left shoulder. And then with control, slowly back towards the front. And you're going to look over your right shoulder. And again, slow motion to the center and to the left. One more time to the right. And gently back to the center. Phew, lots of stuff. So let's give those arms a little shake if you'd like. And just see if you're feeling a little more loose, a little more open, warmer, anything that feels changed up in the shoulders and neck and shoulders. And we can just take a few moments here to rest. So if you'd like to invite your eyes to close, you can. And as you settle, seeing if you can let your forehead get a little softer, your cheeks. You let your tongue get heavy in your mouth, so down by your bottom teeth. Your shoulders, your whole arms, all the muscles soften over the bones. It's like the arms are getting heavier and heavier. And your belly muscles, your back muscles get a little softer. Your bum muscles relax, your hip muscles relax. The chair is holding you up, so you can send that message to your torso, your legs, right down to your feet. Nothing left for the body to do for these last 3 or 4 breaths but rest. And before you do come back to the room, you're going to thank yourself quietly for taking this time to work on strengthening, to move, to mobilize, just to keep the body awake and aware in all these different areas that we might not move in our daily life. Whenever you're ready, you might decide you need a yawn. Come back into the space in any way that makes sense. Well, thank you so much again for taking the time for yourself and exploring some of these movements. If you've got any questions, feel free to email me. The link is below. Again, apologies for that wind out there. Yeah, so good luck, enjoy, and be in touch if you need. All right, take care.